Hello and welcome to episode 21 of VocTer Gaming. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain, and we are here with the final game, Game 3, in the Blizzcon series between ThorZaIN and NaNiWa. The map is Tal'darim Altar, and spawning in the northeast position is our Red Terran, our hero, Sports ThorZaIN. And in the southwest location, the blue Protoss, Dignitas NaNiWa. Now the series is tied 1-1 at the moment. Players there wishing each other they have fun, the good game, the good luck. The series is tied at 1-1, so this will be the deciding game. We will see who wins, who is the better player. Now, for those of you who've been watching this week and who also watch the GSL, you will know both of these players are now in Korea in the GSL, both failing in their opening Code A matches. However, they are the absolute heroes of the team league, playing for Fox United, which is a team made up of We Made Fox and an absolute assload of foreigners. Where ThorZaIN came in, stomped 3 MVP players, MVP notably undefeated in the team league up to this point, and then sadly losing to MVP Genius. But then out came Dignitas NaNiWa, who crushed Genius in an amazing game, meaning that F United went through. F United now sitting very pretty with a 100% win rate, while MVP dropped slightly, having lost their first team league game. Now, I don't predict that we'll see much of anything different from the previous 2 games. I think ThorZaIN is a very stylistic player against Protoss. He's a very patient player. He goes at long-range bio, which is not necessarily the most effective thing on this map. I'd still like to see people going a bit more mech against Protoss. I feel like that's the natural evolution of the game, and we will be seeing it in the future. There's the orbital command. And the very fast Nexus from NaNiWa, not even finishing his gate before putting the Nexus down. But that's fine, because as we see up here, ThorZaIN himself is expanding. Both players looking for one another now. Ooh. Excuse any yawns from me today, please. I was up until 3:10 this morning watching the GSL, and then I was back up at 8 o'clock to start this, to get this recorded and uploaded for you by the time I go to work. That is the kind of dedication I have to you, my excellent viewers, all 5 of you. We are doing some promotion this week. We are cross-promoting with Red Rings TV on YouTube. I'm also putting it out there on the XKCD forums a bit more. Just trying to generate some interest in the show, get some more people watching. So please, leave some comments, subscribe to the channel, talk about it in Facebook, link it on Twitter. A couple of minutes here watching for any scout. As the command center nearly finishes. Not a lot really going on at the moment, as I said. Especially, this seems to be the Swedish style, the European style, while the Koreans are... my yawns are the worst today. I'm really sorry about that. While the Korean players are much more focused on timing attacks. NaNiWa trying to scout here. It is going to be denied if he tries to come in. And is that probe going to escape? Probe escapes? No, probe dies. So sad. So sad. ThorZaIN does now drop a bunker. This seems to be generally what he does to defend against Protoss early game. That's fine. But yeah, while the Korean style is much more about timing attacks, like hitting the +1 timing and moving out, or hitting just a good mass of Marines, or hitting ghosts for the first time, and then moving out and trying to do damage. The European, the Swedish style seems to be much more about turtling like a boss, getting up 200 of 200 food, and then waiting very patiently so the moment your opponent is weak in one area, and then pushing in and trying to do an attack. Oh dear. NaNiWa are asking for some paper because it's too sticky to play. I have no comment whatsoever about that. Now, as we see, ThorZaIN is going the 3 racks, 1 reactor to Tech Lab, which is going to mean mainly Marauders and eventually Ghosts when that Ghost Academy builds. Whereas if we look here inside the base of NaNiWa, we see him going up to 4 gates and a Robo going 4-gate Robo, very, very similar to the style he had in the first game. I think that will do him well. I think Colossus will be good on this map. I think it was a mistake not getting them on Metalopolis. I think Tal'darim Altar is a good place for them. While admittedly it is very wide open, which is not always the best for Colossus, as we see large ramps here. Once you hit a critical mass of them, against this style, Ghosts aren't going to do anything to the Colossus, which forces him to get a starport, spend a lot of money on Vikings that he'd rather spend on Medivacs to transport the Marines and Marauders about. So I think it is a very viable style. As we see now, the rocks here have gone down, so we will see a Nexus building, looking to take that economic advantage as early as possible. As we see Stim and Combat Shield finish now, and 2 Ghosts in production from ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN going Ghost much quicker than last time now, which is far better. Concussive Shell now started at the Tech Lab. But yes, I completely advocate making Ghosts as early as you possibly can in this type of matchup against Protoss. They are so good. Supply depot here, going to spot for any kind of drop coming in, although that's not typically anything that occurs. We'll eventually take these rocks out and expand here, I've no doubt. And now going to be pushing out with this small force of Marines, Marauders and Ghosts. Could be very good. The Ghosts are about half energy, and now moving in with that Marine, taking out the Protoss. The probe. And now double forge going down. Double forge for NaNiWa along with the expansion. Gonna have to use force fields to hold this attack back, because right now he has just enough to take this. Needs to be warping in more units, as we see more Stalkers coming in now. He is going to be able to force field this long enough to stop the attack from coming in. More reinforcements now coming down. 1 Marine coming down, sees the expansion here. Is going to sidestep the army now. Could easily take down this expansion. ThorZaIN has got to be careful. Does not have the force fields to force field off this entire thing. Sending 1 sacrificial Marine forward to see what's going on, to look at the army composition of NaNiWa. Is this going to go down? Very good EMP, but there is a Colossus there. There is a Colossus. Needs to be careful. Does want to snipe this. Ghost dying very quickly. Needs to get in. Needs to get in and focus that Colossus. He drops its shields, but that's not going to be enough. If he's not careful, he's going to lose every Marine and Marauder here. Very clever play there by NaNiWa. And ThorZaIN is forced to retreat. NaNiWa now, as we see, upgrading to the extended thermal lance, is going to get another kill off. And is going to push out with this small force. 2 Colossi, a handful of Stalkers and a handful of Sentries. Can be very good. As we see ground weapons and ground armour, level 1 going up now for the Protoss. ThorZaIN is forced to pull back all the way to his base again. He's probably regretting destroying that bunker, having to rebuild another one now. And we see a starport now, a reacted starport, and 3 more barracks going down. Ghost barracks becoming real barracks, as this 1 zealot decides he's going to get a good look at what's here. Manages to punch a Marauder in the face twice. As you see, now NaNiWa is going to be able to kill some of these SCVs, but chooses to pull back. knowing that Vikings are likely to be coming out soon. These rocks are now going down. He's going to be expanding up there. So that is a total of 6 barracks now. 2 reacted starports mean Vikings and medevacs are going to come out so quick they will neutralise that Colossus. So as we see back in this base, very clever tech switch going into the Twilight Council that will let him upgrade Charge and Blink, which will be handy, but more importantly will let him move back into that High Templar play, the High Templar and Archon play that we saw before. And 3 more gates going down now. That takes him to a total of 7. An armory and an eBay now going down. 1 eBay here, 1 armory there. This is going to allow level 2 upgrades to come out very, very fast and try to keep up with NaNiWa's double upgrades. It's not going to work. Charge, as we see, being upgraded there. Very, very useful. For those of you who don't know what Charge is, Charge is a spell for Zealots that essentially allows them to engage very, very quickly. Once they get within range of an enemy, they charge forward. And this allows them to tie up the Marauders and Marines a lot earlier, which means it's harder for the Terran to engage with the Colossus that he wants to kill so badly. Now as we see, ThorZaIN is at 145 food, NaNiWa is at 169. ThorZaIN having just finished expanding here and is getting both refineries. If we look down here, decent saturation here, not quite fully saturated. Is building a photon